Alright, what's going on with the indices, silver, gold? We're going to look at the oil, Australian dollar, US dollar and stuff like that as well too. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alrighty, so traders, let's have a look at what's happened on Friday. Very tricky area. Guys, I am still bearish on the markets right now. And you guys are probably going to know what I'm going to say if you've been following me, but let's go have a look at what's actually happening in the markets. So pretty much a nothing day in the markets. As you can see, we had a rally up, rally down, rally up, and a bit of a sideways day. So we're still getting, there's no clear definite direction yet. I'm still bearish right now, but if we get a rally up, that may see I would then turn bullish and then rally with it. All right, but for now, we have lower peak, lower peak, lower peak, lower peak. Does this whole thing turn into a lower peak? It's definitely struggling at this whole area of resistance right now. And this whole thing is building up into a bear flag. And I believe we could see something like this pretty quickly over the next week. Now that's what I believe, and that's what's shaping up. And if we can't break above and rally to make new highs this month, then I believe this month we're likely to see the opposite. Not a rally, but a pretty significant drop down. So we can see what's going on through there, right? Looking at the Dow Jones, but look what's also happening with the Dow Jones. I've been saying that 18,300, 18,400 for me is the line in the sand, and the Dow Jones still, after so many weeks, is still struggling to get above that. So I am bearish. I am not bullish on this market right now. If we get a weekly close, and I've been saying this for the last probably month now, if we get a weekly close back above the 18,400, then I believe if that happens, we will see 19,000, possibly even higher. Okay, so then I'll be trading that as well too. But looking at the indices now, just remember, guys, I trade a lot of other stocks as well too, not just the indices. So you can see here that stock market is still major bearish. On the charts, as you can see here, right, and if you look at this whole trend line from there to there, you actually can see how it's hit resistance, and now it's squeezing up into this triangle pattern, and then it's like it's still struggling above that. This weekly chart is still showing weakness. Do not be fooled for what we saw on Friday, and we got a big volume spike too on Friday. Don't be fooled for that, guys. The charts are still saying bearish. So if something's going to happen, it still can happen now. Meaning, like, if something radically out of the markets can happen, then it still can happen now. Now, by looking at my analysis, am I looking at the 1929 crash, 37 crash, stuff like that? I think 87 crash. And looking at my other analysis, I think now through to the 10th of October, guys, we have a lot of uncertainty in the markets. A lot of things. So all I'm gonna say is that, just from doing my research and doing my analysis, from now through the 10th, so we have this whole week basically. What are we on right now? On October. So basically now through to the next Monday, this whole week, guys, is gonna be crazy, and I do see a lot of panic happening within this month, within this week here. Especially on the 6th, I see something happening with the 6th where the panic cycle and the volatility is going to really increase on the 6th. So keep an eye out for the 6th, okay? Doesn't mean it's going to crash that day, but that's just what my analysis show me. So we can see that's what happened there. So I'm still very bearish on this, guys. I'm not bullish. There is nothing bullish about this. Once again, we have this false breakout through here. False breakout. All right, we had this false breakout. Then the market ran down. It's now creating this three little soldiers, and I think it's like, that's actually a candlestick pattern. We have this big drop down, and what do we have there? We have a big drop down, and then we have you candlestick guys may know this, right? But then you have a little candlestick, a little candlestick, and a little candlestick, and then guess what happens afterwards? We get that again. So this is actually a weak sign, and let me see if I can. So let me show you this screen here that I got, And as you can see, if I zoom in on this, you'll be able to see, let me show you what I'm looking at here. This pattern here, as you can see this pattern right here. All right, that pattern right there, you can see you had the candlestick drop. You had 1, 2, 3 candles, and then now we're dropping down. So this is actually what we're seeing right now on the actual market. So I'm not going to really put too emphasis on that, but I'm just saying that's on the weekly chart. You can see how that's forming, you know, and you can see what does the definition say on the candlestick method anyway? Falling 3 method, a bearish continuation pattern. A long black body is followed by 3 small body days, each fully contained within the range of the high and low of the first day. Oh, it's not exactly, is it? The 5th day closes at the low. And this one here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. Do we have a 5-week drop here? Pretty interesting. This week's going to be crazy, guys. Crazy. So we can see that's what's happening with the Dow Jones. Let's go have a look at... so that's all I really want to show you on that market, guys. A quick look at the indices. You can see the S&P. Even the S&P had a nice big rally, but you can see still, guys, over all that, we're getting this overall major area of resistance here. So resistance here, and then it drops off. So, or then I expect to see it drop off. So, but you can see it's still struggling to break above, and we're still getting what? Still getting this overall bearish downward, this lower high, lower high, lower high. Guys, keep an eye on this, right? Because the market's doing this, and it's showing you that potentially we still could see some significant downward movement. As long as we're making those lower highs, guys, that is the thing, especially on the Dow Jones, especially on the weekly chart, and those sort of things keep an eye on for. And moving on to the Nasdaq as well too. Nasdaq had a little rally up, but not much, you know, not much on the Nasdaq, almost a 1%. So we see that's what's going on through there. And looking at the VIX, the VIX is always also all through here. I'm expecting some significant spikes in the VIX in this month here, especially the next couple of weeks. I definitely see that. As of before, I expect, especially this first week here, this first and second week, I see, or this first week, this next week, guys, I see a lot of volatility hitting the markets. So we can see that through there. Let's go have a look at silver and gold. So what happened with silver? Silver actually had a big rally up. It hit this resistance, come back down, hit this support. Now look where the stochastics are coming through. So very interesting to see what's actually happening here on silver. You've got these lower peaks, got this trough, a lower peak, a higher trough, a lower peak, a potential higher trough. So there's no one in control on the short term on this on silver. It could go down, it could go up. That's just the way it is, right? There's no one in control. If we get a rally down, then the sellers might be in control. If we get a rally back up to create a higher peak, then we could start to get this sort of action. But very interesting also to see, guys, is that look at the stochastics here, and that was the stochastics there. Stochastics turning point. Look where they're getting right now. We're getting ready for a turning point here. Very interesting, right? Let's go have a look at gold here. Actually, you know what? Let's go have a look at the weekly chart, because the weekly chart for me, guys, is still bullish. There's nothing bearish about what we can see through here. There's just nothing bearish. You can see it's continuing to step up, and it's still holding it back above this. And as you can see, it broke this major downward trend line through there, back above this whole major support. We're now holding. I've got a lot of white space, guys. I am seriously expecting this market to hold support really good. And the reason why I say that is because whenever a support and resistance breaks and you've got some white space involved with that, let me explain what I mean here. You see the support and resistance don't always change roles, but the probability massively increases if the market breaks down. And you see how you got all this little white space? See all that white space in there? That simply means that if the market runs down and then it comes back up, and you've got all that little white space in the middle, the probability of that holding is strong. Look what's happened now, right? It ran up, and look at all that. Look at all this white space in here. That's what I call white space. Bit of a technique that I teach you here, guys. And then the market runs down. Once it has that white space, a rally, and then I'm expecting to hold. So the support and resistance changing roles. What happens there is this: is that when that happens, guys, you can see by using that white space technique, the probability of that changing roles just massively increases. Doesn't mean it's going to work, guys, but if you're looking for probability of that working, that's the reason why you can see here last time when it came down and came back up, Again, on a weekly chart, you can see it actually held and continued down for a bit, and then the market sort of rallied back up. Again, if you look at this area, this whole area through here, as a support and resistance line, you can see that we actually had, what was this here? Lots and lots of white space through here, as you can see. Right, lots and lots of white space, lots and lots of white space. So I'm expecting this sort of I'm expecting a similar thing. So there you go, guys. If you're ever trying to determine if support and resistance are going to change roles, if you massively increase the probability of using the white space technique. Hope you enjoyed that. So let's go have a look at gold. So this is gold. Very interesting to see what's happening with gold, guys. Gold actually broke out of its channel, or out of this trend line here. Very interesting to see what's going on through there. Now, guys, one thing I'm looking at here with silver is the same thing, but looking at these lows, and guys, this is the silver and gold is moving very nicely, so you can read it quite nicely. We have this trough, we have a lower peak, we have this higher trough, we have this lower peak. This still could be another higher trough, or could be a lower peak or equal trough. It doesn't matter, right? But we can see there's really no one in control. I believe long term the buyers are going to pick this back up and really run with it. But there's no one in control right now. But if we get a break above, say, 1350, guys, my goodness, it's on like Donkey Kong. So, but right now, no one is in control. No one is in control. And so therefore, you know, I'm not bullish. I'm long-term bullish on the markets right now because of the weekly charts. But right now on the short term, guys, if you guys are looking for short term, there's nothing short term to say bullish or bearishness. All right, if you're looking for the last couple of months, you can see what's in here. Again, guys, if we start to get this sort of action when the market rallies up and makes this higher peak, then we're probably going to come down like that and run like that, or we may just go straight up through there. So very interesting to see what's going on through there. Plus also looking at the weekly charts here, guys. By looking at this chart here, this weekly chart here, you can actually see what's going on. We've got this major trend line going up through there. That 1300 is still a major area of resistance. We've got this big bull flag. It's breaking above there. And what do we actually have? We have that. We have a little bit of white space through there, don't we? A little bit of white space. So really interesting, guys. You can see we had a lot of white space through here, and then broke up, came back down. It's really, look at that bear flag. Just really nice bear flag. And so, guys, I'm expecting something like this soon. So I think over the next couple months we're likely to see some serious upward movement by looking at silver and gold. So silver and gold still massively bullish long term. And the stock market, guys, stock market still looks very bearish. Let me have a go look at looking at oil. Oil's had a nice break up, so we're getting a nice little buying move through there. But again, guys, for me, the line in the sand is above that 50. We need a weekly close above that 50. We get a weekly close above the 50, we're running to the 70 mark. And still, until that happens, I ain't no touching that one. Let's have a look here. Long term on the Australian dollar, pretty much nothing going on, just hovering around there for the last couple of months. And the US dollar still hovering around, but in this bearish mode. Again, guys, if you have a look at this monthly chart, this is the monthly chart here. You can see how you can just very clearly see on this monthly chart, guys, how weak the US dollar is right now. But if we get a monthly close above the $25 level on this UUP, guys, then we're probably likely to see a rally right back up to the highs, because that's what's going to happen. So it looks very weak right now, guys, but we could turn around, and if we do turn around, then I think if we do turn around, then I think we could actually see a strong move to the high side, which still could happen, right? So let's have a look here on the daily chart. What do we have here? We have a few things here. One, we have this resistance here. We have the support through there. We're squeezing up. Who's in control? Let's go have a look at the peaks and troughs. Very simple. Lower peak, lower peak, lower peak. We have a trough. We have a high trough. We have a potential high trough. Who's in control? No one yet on the short term. If we do get a breakdown, guess what? That's going to cause now a lower trough, and it's going to cause another lower peak, and then we start to do this sort of action. We break up, it's going to cause a higher peak, and then I think we step up from there. So I'm just looking at what the charts are telling me right now, guys. And this month, it's going to be a crazy month. Rocktober, as they call it. So there we go, guys. There's a few things that I did want to talk about on there. But anyway, guys, I see massive bullishness. Still, the silver is still screaming very bullish overall. Short-term indecision, and the stock market guys, as you can see by looking at this Dow Jones chart, it is still weak. We're not getting a weekly close above that, and that's showing weakness. still very, very, very weak. So I see stock market still very weak, and the silver and gold price are still very, very strong. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course, and I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.